Noon, a couple of days after my hospital visit, gave me some time to think. A lot of time to think about certain subjects, but I was home last night and I was watching Hell's Kitchen and they had a Mr. Potato Head challenge. Mr. Potato Head challenge. Well, of course that goes for cooking. You know, you got potatoes, you got chips, you got fries, whatever you want to call them, you can make it out of potato head. But what about retail and the Mr. Potato Head? It's amazing how we can relate to Mr. or politically correct Mrs. Potato Head nowadays, and we can build our own. We got the foundation, which I don't have here, of Mr. Potato Head, unfortunately, because I'm a grown-up now. But we have the head, which is us, our body. We come into a store as retail leaders, coaches, and so forth. First thing we need to do is include our ears. What do we do with the ears? We listen. We listen to the silence. For me, that's the most important thing. We could hear a lot of noise, a lot of people coming up to us, team members wanting to just chat and so forth. But what we don't hear sometimes is the truth. So we really need to keep our listening skills at a high level and sometimes read between the lines. One of the biggest things I don't like when I walk into the store is when no one approaches me and I don't hear anything at all. It either means that, hey, they were coached not to say anything because times are not great, or they're afraid to approach myself or their coach or their leader or anyone that comes into a store, which is not a good situation. So be careful of the ears. Once you put them in, they should be part of your observations when coming into the store. It's not always visual, it's auditory as well. The nose, well, you come in, you want to smell. You could easily tell how things are going by the way the store smells. It can either smell of tons of sweat, dirtiness. The best thing is if you smell a little bit of Javex, and a little bit of soap that they've cleaned the store, you see it. But that also brings up my bad senses, my spidey senses, because did they just do the cleaning because I'm here today? Whatever the case is, at the end of the day, at least the customer sees a clean store, and it should be done that way. So use your nose, like that, you know, my big nose here, as a sense of smell to move on and move out. The eyes, of course, visual, see what's happening in the store. You plug them in, you get them ready. What you're looking is for little things when you come to the store. Dress code, merchandising. Are the ceiling tiles dirty? Has it been dusted in a while? The vents. My first thing when I walk into a store is check the flags outside. If you have flags outside and they're tattered, for me that's a humongous issue. It just shows disrespect, and the leader may just not be able to visualize certain things like that, which customers do see. So visually, you want to come in, take a look. Take a look at employees. Are they scattering around like cockroaches? And I hate to use that terminology, but that's what happens when a visitor comes in unannounced. They'll try and hide, or do they approach you? When they approach you, that's a good thing. But you need to be visual as well. Check for empty end caps. You know, I'm not going to drill this down. As retail leaders and coaches, you should know this as well. So I've covered the ears, I've covered the eyes, I've covered the nose, and what about the mouth? The mouth, that's you. You're the cheerleader. You're there. You're not the devil. They shouldn't be afraid of you. You're there to bring your little cheerleader pom-poms on, and you go, hey, hurrah, whatever you want to do. Make sure everyone knows that they're appreciated for the work they do. Whatever needs to be said behind the scenes is said behind the scenes and is not spilled out onto the floor. And it's amazing with the mouth. You could have different mouths. Mice, mouth is whatever, and Mr. Potato Head, one with a tongue sticking out, one with big lips, one with teeth. That depends on your mood when you go into the store. The one I suggest you have is the one with the smile. Same thing for the eyes. You can have different eyes, squinty eyes, big eyes, rolled eyes, whatever you want. But the appearance of how you walk into the store will be what sets the tone for the day. You got your hands, you plug them in, you got your arms, you touch, you feel, you handshake, you pat on the back, high five, whatever you want to do. The feet you want to walk around the store. You do not want to stay in the office. You stay in the office, forget about it. You're over, you're done. You set the tone for the day. Your leader, your coach of the store, if they stay in the office, it's over. It should not be done. The feet should be walking on the floor. Not only the feet, which are great because you put little shoes on them. There's no real legs on Mr. Potato Head, but the feet should be clean, meaning the shoes should be polished. A nice polished shoe shows a sign of respect for themselves and for the store and the company they're working for. So, mouth, eyes, ears, nose, arms, feet, hat. Well, Mr. Potato Head may have a toupee. I don't know. Or he may wear a hat like me. Whatever the case is, it's about looking the part, being part of the role as a retail leader and coach. Many of us want to play that role, but many of us just don't know how or don't want to. They want to do it their own way, which is great. Being an individual is great. Mr. Potato Head, you could dress them up 10,000 different ways, but at the end of the day, it's the way that makes the clock tick that will work. Make sure that your eyes, mouth, ears, hat, head, feet, I don't care anymore. We're not going to repeat it because it's just too long, are all working together. At the end of the day, it's up to you to make it function, write a report, high five, congratulate them, and if there's opportunities, do the same. That's what you're there for. So, hopefully, this was not too much information, or it didn't go too left, too right for you guys in retail, but at the end of the day, I think we need to become more like a Mr. Potato Head. Got my drift? Until then, we'll chat later. Cheerio, and have a great day.